Every year, our oceans, coastlines, and communities are drowning in plastic. But now, there's a real chance for change. The world's trade systems, often blamed for fueling the plastic problem, could actually help end it. With final negotiations for a global plastics treaty about to wrap up, let's explore the trade measures, opportunities, and challenges that could reshape our planet's future. This is Advent Traveler back again with another video. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss important updates like this. Let's dive right in. Plastic pollution is more than just litter. It's fueling three major environmental crises: pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change. Plastic chokes waterways and oceans, releasing toxic chemicals and microplastics that contaminate water and food chains. Wildlife, from seabirds to whales, ingest or get trapped in plastic, often dying as a result. Coral reefs and entire ecosystems are suffocating under plastic debris. Plastic production also drives fossil fuel use and greenhouse gas emissions. Yet there's no single global agreement to control plastic from creation to disposal. Without urgent, coordinated action, plastic waste will keep piling up, threatening oceans and future generations. In 2023, humanity produced over 430 million metric tons of plastic, enough to fill countless skyscrapers or circle the globe several times. This isn't just a number, it's a relentless stream of material woven into every part of our lives, from packaging to electronics. Most of this plastic is single-use, quickly becoming waste. Landfills overflow and recycling systems can't keep up. About 3/4 of all plastic ever made now pollutes land, rivers, and oceans, accumulating in massive floating garbage patches. Coastal nations, especially small islands, are hit hardest. Their beaches become dumping grounds for plastic from around the world. With limited resources, these communities struggle to manage the constant tide of waste, fueling a growing environmental crisis. The global plastic trade was worth over $1 trillion last year, more than the GDP of many countries. That's a massive amount of money tied up in moving plastic goods across borders, fueling economies but also creating hidden costs that are often overlooked. Plastics make up about 5% of all goods traded worldwide. Every day, millions of tons of plastic products, like toys, electronics, and packaging, are shipped from factories to stores around the globe, supporting jobs in manufacturing, shipping, and retail. But the economic impact goes deeper. Many countries bear the burden of managing plastic waste imports, straining local waste systems and costing governments billions in cleanup and health expenses. Cheap to make and easy to ship, fossil fuel-based plastics are now embedded in global commerce. Yet this convenience comes at a price, impacting jobs, industries, and the environment worldwide. Around the world, innovative materials like bamboo, seaweed, hemp, and recycled paper are emerging as powerful alternatives to single-use plastics. These resources are not only renewable, but they also grow quickly and require fewer chemicals and less water to produce compared to traditional plastics. For example, bamboo can be harvested in just a few years, seaweed farming doesn't need fertilizers or fresh water, and hemp grows in a variety of climates. Recycled paper, meanwhile, gives new life to old materials. These alternatives can be composted or recycled, reducing landfill waste and ocean pollution. Compostable packaging breaks down naturally, while recyclable materials can be reprocessed into new products. Their production also causes far less environmental harm, with lower carbon emissions and less toxic runoff than plastic manufacturing. In 2023, global trade in these eco-friendly materials reached an impressive $485 billion. And the market is expanding rapidly as more countries seek sustainable solutions. This growth is especially significant in developing countries, where entrepreneurs and small businesses are tapping into the sustainable market, creating jobs and supporting local economies while helping to protect our oceans. Education and community initiatives are also spreading awareness, encouraging more people to choose sustainable packaging and support the shift away from plastics. Here's the problem. Over the past 3 decades, tariffs on plastic products have been cut drastically, making them artificially cheap. This means that plastic goods can be produced and shipped around the world at a fraction of the cost of their greener counterparts, flooding markets everywhere. Meanwhile, tariffs on sustainable alternatives remain roughly twice as high. For example, A business importing bamboo cutlery or compostable packaging often pays much more in tariffs than if they were importing plastic forks or bags. This pricing imbalance discourages businesses from switching to greener products. Many small companies already operating on thin margins simply can't afford to make the switch, even if they want to. And it slows innovation where it's needed most. When sustainable products are more expensive to bring to market, inventors and startups face extra hurdles. Imagine a new biodegradable packaging breakthrough. If tariffs make it too costly, it may never reach store shelves. Until these tariff barriers are addressed, the global market will keep favoring plastics, making it even harder for sustainable solutions to compete and scale up. Around the world, countries are stepping up their fight against plastic waste. Governments are rolling out bans on single-use plastics, introducing strict labeling rules, and setting new product standards. These regulations are designed to slow the tide of plastic entering our oceans and to push companies and consumers toward more sustainable choices. The hope is that by tightening the rules, we can encourage innovation in packaging, boost recycling rates, and ultimately protect marine life. But here's the catch. Every country is writing its own rulebook. The result is a confusing patchwork of regulations that can be overwhelming, especially for small businesses and exporters in developing countries. Imagine a small manufacturer in Southeast Asia trying to sell to Europe, the US, and Japan. Each market has its own set of requirements, forms, and standards. Navigating this maze isn't just time-consuming, it's expensive. This lack of harmony means more paperwork, more delays, and sometimes entire shipments being rejected at the border. For many, the cost of compliance is rising fast, and the risk of making a costly mistake is ever present. Even well-intentioned regulations can backfire, punishing those with the least resources to adapt. Without global coordination, the system can end up hurting the very people and businesses it's meant to help. That's why many experts argue for international standards, so that efforts to protect our oceans don't come at the expense of those trying to do the right thing. Next week in Geneva, world leaders will gather for what could be the most significant environmental negotiation of the decade, the final round of talks on a legally binding treaty to curb plastic pollution. Delegates from nearly every nation will be present, representing a wide range of interests and priorities. The stakes are high, as the decisions made here could shape the future of global plastic use for generations to come. This agreement aims to address the full life cycle of plastics, from production and consumption to disposal and recycling, and to create global standards that could transform how we use plastics in our daily lives. If successful, the treaty could require countries to rethink how plastics are designed, produced, and managed, potentially leading to new innovations and a shift toward more sustainable materials. Negotiators will debate tough questions. Should there be limits on plastic production? How can developing countries be supported in managing plastic waste? What role should industry play in funding solutions? The goal is to find solutions that are fair for all countries, rich or poor, and to ensure that no nation is left behind in the fight against plastic pollution. These discussions will also consider the needs of communities most affected by plastic waste and how to ensure a just transition for workers in the plastics industry. The world will be watching as these talks unfold, hoping for a breakthrough that could set the stage for a cleaner, healthier future for our oceans and our planet. The outcome in Geneva could inspire new commitments, spark global cooperation, and mark a turning point in the fight against plastic pollution. For many, this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future for all. The fight against plastic pollution isn't just about cleaning beaches. It's about rewriting the rules of global trade so the planet and people come first. If the treaty succeeds, it could be one of the most important environmental milestones of our time. Let's hope leaders don't waste this chance. For more world updates like this, hit subscribe and join us as we follow the changes shaping our future. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.